Imagine a game so massive that Rockstar spent 10 years building it. A game so expensive, it became one of the most costly entertainment projects ever, rumored to cross $1 to $2 billion in development. And after more than a decade of silence, leaks, rumors, cryptic messages, and internet chaos, Rockstar finally broke the internet on December 5th, 2023, with a single trailer. Crossing over $6 billion in revenue, GTA 5 set a standard that Rockstar will be lucky to match again. But with GTA 6's reported budget hitting $1 to $2 billion, players are expecting nothing less than an entire world to explore. More than anything, people want something that builds on what GTA 5 mastered. One of GTA 5's biggest strengths was its scale. The world felt alive, breathing, unpredictable. The heist missions were cinematic showpieces. Each one felt like a mini finale. The story and characters were brilliantly crafted, even if a bit chaotic at times. You could tell dozens of writers were behind every plot point, yet the dialogue remained sharp, and the characters became some of the funniest and most memorable we've seen in years. Honestly, any game that lets you steal a blimp already has something going for it. But what truly held the entire experience together were the core mechanics. Driving, flying, shooting, everything felt polished. A huge improvement over previous titles. If even one of these systems had been weak, the whole game would have suffered. Imagine if the driving was stiff. Every long drive would have felt like a chore instead of a relaxing break between missions. Instead, time spent on the road just vanished. This commitment to making the basics fun is what so many modern games lack. For GTA though, it became the foundation that allowed Rockstar to build a massively successful online world that has lasted nearly a decade. If Rockstar fails to nail these fundamentals in GTA 6, it could end up being one of the biggest disappointments in gaming history. But let's be honest, that's unlikely. So what do we actually know about the game so far? Speculation around GTA 6 has been going on for years, but it wasn't until 2020 that anything concrete surfaced, and even then, it came through a leak. Reports from insiders suggested the game was still a long way off, but a few key details began to emerge. Rockstar has long been known for its intense development culture. Anyone who's played Red Dead Redemption 2 understands the level of effort poured into even the smallest details. Because of this, sources claim that GTA 6 would launch with a more limited scope, then gradually expand over time as new content was added. Whether that was a genuine attempt to reduce developer crunch or simply a setup for future paid DLC remains unclear. Beyond that, information was scarce. It wasn't until last year, about 5 months after Rockstar officially confirmed the game's existence, that more details began to surface. A Bloomberg report outlines several major features. One of the biggest revelations was the setting. The game would be based in a modern-day version of Miami. This was later all but confirmed when early development footage leaked online. Players quickly matched buildings from the footage to real-world Miami locations, almost perfectly. One interesting detail was the map size. While it's expected to be smaller than previous entries, it will reportedly include far more interior locations. Rockstar has always prioritized immersion, and this shift suggests a deeper, more realistic world, a change many fans have been asking for. The game was also confirmed to feature 2 protagonists, one male and one female. Fewer than GTA 5's 3, but still a meaningful change. And realistically, the number of protagonists has never been what defines a great GTA game. Then came the biggest leak of all. Footage from an unfinished build surfaced online, raw gameplay, internal code, and even early voice acting. Rockstar moved quickly to remove it, but what people saw confirmed many of the earlier reports. The most surprising part? The leak was traced back to a 17-year-old from the UK who reportedly hacked Rockstar using nothing more than a Fire TV stick and a mobile hotspot in a hotel room. And honestly, it wouldn't be shocking if a character like that somehow ends up referenced in the game itself. Beyond the confirmed details though, much of GTA 6 remains a mystery. Still, based on Rockstar's history and a bit of common sense, we can make some very strong predictions about what's coming next. There will almost certainly be an online component to the game, most likely separate from the single-player experience. GTA Online, powered by shark cards and microtransactions, kept Rockstar financially afloat for nearly a decade, generating consistent revenue with relatively little effort compared to building an entirely new title. That success is likely one of the biggest reasons GTA 6 took so long to arrive. Before GTA Online, Rockstar was releasing major titles almost every year. Since its launch, however, we've seen just one major release in over a decade. Another thing we can confidently expect is satire. It's always been at the heart of the GTA franchise. GTA 5 was packed with it, just like the games before it. But in today's world, satire is harder to pull off. Over the last 10 years, real life has become so absurd that it often feels stranger than fiction. Things that once seemed ridiculous are now completely normal, which raises an interesting question. How do you parody reality when reality is already a parody of itself? Can Rockstar really create something more ridiculous than Life Invader? Could they name a fictional platform dumber than Meta, or more unnecessary than X? Interestingly, two characters from GTA 5 feel more relevant today than ever. Michael's children, Jimmy and Tracy. Jimmy represents the stereotypical modern gamer, a toxic, entitled man-child who spends his days smoking and playing video games. Rockstar made the symbolism impossible to miss, even giving him a tattoo that literally says "entitled." Tracy, on the other hand, represents the opposite extreme, a shallow, status-obsessed teenager whose entire identity revolves around attention and popularity. She's spoiled, emotionally explosive, and painfully naive. Together, these characters were Rockstar's exaggerated, yet unsettlingly accurate portrayal of modern teenagers at the time. And looking back now, it's hard to say they were wrong. And that's the real challenge Rockstar now faces. Satire used to exaggerate reality. Now, it has to compete with it. Influencers fake entire lives online. Billionaires launch products that feel like jokes. Social platforms change names overnight and expect the world to take them seriously. When absurdity becomes normal, parody loses its edge. So instead of trying to be louder or crazier, Rockstar may take a different approach. One that feels quieter, sharper, and more uncomfortable. Less about jokes and more about reflection. Showing players a world that feels familiar, not because it's exaggerated, but because it's accurate. This would also explain the rumored focus on immersion, more interior spaces, more unscripted interactions, more moments where the player simply exists in the world rather than being pushed from mission to mission. A city that doesn't constantly shout at you, but quietly watches you. If GTA 6 is truly built around two protagonists, that duality could become its strongest tool. Two characters navigating the same world in completely different ways. One adapting to the chaos, the other exploiting it. Two lives shaped by the same system, yet driven by opposite motivations. Rockstar has always understood that Grand Theft Auto isn't really about crime. Crime is just the vehicle. The real subject has always been people, their desires, their insecurities, and the systems that reward the worst behavior. In GTA 5, it was about greed and excess. In GTA 6, it may be about attention, about visibility, about what happens when being seen becomes more valuable than being right. And that naturally feeds back into the online experience. GTA Online was never just a multiplayer mode. It was a social experiment, a space where chaos, grinding, flexing, and microtransactions blended into one endless loop. If Rockstar builds on that idea, rather than simply repeating it, GTA 6's online world could become even more reflective of modern digital life, a place where status matters, where money isn't just power, but identity, where players don't just commit crimes, they perform them. And if Rockstar gets it right, GTA 6 won't just be another open-world game. It will be a snapshot of an era, a record of how strange the world became, and how easily we learn to accept it. And this is where GTA 6 becomes more than just entertainment. Rockstar has always understood that the soul of Grand Theft Auto isn't just in the missions, it's in the details. And nowhere is that clearer than in the fake companies that populate its world. Life Invader wasn't just a parody of Facebook, it was a commentary on how quickly people trade privacy for validation. The platform was shallow, intrusive, and ultimately meaningless, and that was the point. It reflected a time when social media was still pretending to be harmless. Then there were companies like Merryweather, a private military contractor openly profiting from chaos. Or Bleater, a Twitter clone reduced to nothing but noise and outrage. These weren't jokes for the sake of humor, they were exaggerations of systems already broken. The question now is how Rockstar does this again in 2025. Because reality has caught up. Life Invader doesn't feel extreme anymore. If anything, it feels tame. When real platforms rebrand overnight, sell identity as a product, and monetize attention at every level, satire becomes harder to sharpen. So Rockstar may not try to be louder, it may try to be subtler. Instead of obvious parodies, we could see corporations that feel almost real. Tech companies that promise connection but deliver isolation. Wellness brands selling purpose in monthly subscriptions. Financial apps turning risk into entertainment. Influencer agencies manufacturing fame the same way factories once produced goods. The humor won't come from how ridiculous these companies are. It will come from how familiar they feel. Advertisements playing on insecurity. Radio hosts defending corporations no one trusts. Billboards selling dreams no one can afford. All woven seamlessly into the world, so natural that players barely question them. And that's always been Rockstar's strength. The city doesn't stop for the story. The story lives inside the city. Every logo, every brand, every product exists to remind the player that this world runs on exploitation, attention, and desire, just like the real one. In GTA 6, the fake companies won't just fill space, they'll explain the world. And if Rockstar gets it right, players won't just laugh at them, they'll recognize them. Rockstar's fictional corporations have always done more than sell products. They sell ideas. Ideas about success, about happiness, about what a life is supposed to look like. In Grand Theft Auto, every advertisement is a lie told with confidence. Every slogan sounds familiar, reassuring, almost comforting, and that's what makes it dangerous. The world doesn't feel broken. It feels functional. It works exactly as intended. In GTA 6, these fake companies will likely go even deeper. Not just tech giants and social platforms, but lifestyle brands, financial services, self-improvement products, all promising meaning in exchange for loyalty. Progress packaged as convenience, freedom sold as a subscription, and the player will move through this world surrounded by it. Billboards towering over highways, influencers pitching products between tragedies, radio hosts justifying corporate decisions no one believes in, a constant stream of noise designed to distract, reassure, and normalize. What makes Rockstar different is that it never forces the message. It lets the world speak for itself. You're not told that something is wrong, you feel it. And that's why these games stay with people long after the credits roll. Because beneath the satire, beneath the chaos and crime, there's something quieter, a reflection of the systems we live inside every day. GTA has never been about stealing cars. It's been about stealing attention, about chasing status, about confusing freedom with excess. And GTA 6 feels positioned to be Rockstar's most honest reflection yet. Not louder, not bigger, just clearer. A world that doesn't ask you to laugh at it, but to recognize it. And when the screen fades to black, the real discomfort won't come from what you did in the game. It will come from how much of it felt familiar.